Immigrant workers play a vital role in the U.S. economy, contributing to sectors such as agriculture, healthcare, construction, technology, and service industries. However, due to a lack of awareness or fear of retaliation, many immigrants are unaware of the rights they are entitled to, regardless of their immigration status. Federal and state laws protect workers from discrimination, unsafe working conditions, unfair pay, and exploitation. Whether documented or undocumented, all workers have fundamental rights that employers must respect. This video outlines the top 10 rights of immigrant workers in the workplace to help ensure every worker can assert their rights with confidence and dignity. 1. The right to be paid fair wages. All workers in the U.S., including undocumented immigrants, are entitled to be paid at least the federal or state minimum wage, whichever is higher. They must also receive overtime pay, typically time and a half, for hours worked beyond 40 in a week, unless they fall under a specific exemption. Employers cannot exploit immigrant workers by paying them less based on their status. If you're being paid under the table or below minimum wage, you have the right to file a complaint with the U.S. Department of Labor, DOL, or a local labor board. 2. The right to a safe and healthy workplace. Under the Occupational Safety and Health Act, OSHA, every worker has the right to a workplace free of known health and safety hazards. This includes access to protective equipment, safety training in a language they understand, and the ability to report dangerous conditions without fear of retaliation. Immigrant workers often face the most hazardous conditions in jobs like construction or agriculture, but OSHA protections apply to all, regardless of status. You can file a complaint anonymously if you fear retaliation. 3. The right to be free from discrimination. It is illegal for employers to discriminate against workers based on national origin, race, color, religion, sex, or immigration status in many circumstances. The U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, EEOC, enforces these laws and protects immigrants from harassment or unfair treatment in hiring, firing, job assignments, or promotions. For example, it's illegal for an employer to refuse to hire someone simply because of an accent or ethnic background. If you experience discrimination, you can file a charge with the EEOC, even without a social security number. 4. The right to organize and join a union. All workers, including immigrants, have the right to organize, join a union, and collectively bargain with employers. The National Labor Relations Act, NLRA, protects this right and prohibits employers from retaliating against workers for union activity. You can also speak out about workplace issues, discuss wages with coworkers, or protest working conditions without fear of being legally fired. This right applies even if you are undocumented, although you may need legal guidance to avoid risks in the process. 5. The right to be free from retaliation. Employers cannot legally retaliate against you for standing up for your rights. This includes filing a complaint, reporting wage theft, participating in a workplace investigation, or refusing unsafe work. Retaliation can include firing, demotion, threats, harassment, or other negative treatment. Workers who experience retaliation can file a claim with the EEOC, OSHA, or the Department of Labor, and in many cases, they can be reinstated and awarded compensation for damages. 6. The right to report workplace violations. Immigrant workers can report workplace violations such as wage theft, unsafe conditions, and discrimination. Government agencies like OSHA, the DOL, and EEOC do not ask about immigration status when you file a complaint. In fact, many have policies to protect immigrant whistleblowers from immigration enforcement. Some states and cities also have labor rights offices that specifically serve immigrant communities. These reports help prevent abuse and protect other vulnerable workers. 7. The right to access workers' compensation. If you're injured on the job, you likely have a right to receive workers' compensation benefits, including medical care and wage replacement, regardless of your immigration status. This right exists in most states, though the rules vary. Do not be afraid to report an injury out of fear of deportation or losing your job. Denying an injured worker these benefits due to immigration status is illegal in many jurisdictions. A workers' comp attorney or nonprofit worker center can guide you through the process confidentially. 8. The right to receive accurate information about your job. Immigrant workers have the right to be informed about their job duties, workplace hazards, pay rates, and work hours. This information must be communicated in a language the worker understands. Employers must also provide wage statements, itemized pay stubs, and information about deductions. Some states require employers to give written notice of employment terms, including sick leave or breaks. If your employer is not being transparent, that may be a violation of labor law. 9. The right to keep your own identification documents. No employer has the legal right to take or withhold your passport, green card, work permit, or any other personal identification. Doing so may constitute forced labor or human trafficking under federal law. You always have the right to hold your own documents, and you should never have to surrender them to keep a job. If your employer refuses to return your papers or uses them to control your actions, you should contact a trusted legal organization or the National Human Trafficking Hotline. 10. The right to seek legal help without fear. One of the most important rights immigrant workers have is the right to seek help from legal professionals or advocacy groups. You are allowed to consult with an attorney about workplace problems, immigration concerns, or any violation of your rights. Legal aid organizations across the U.S. specialize in helping immigrant workers, regardless of immigration status. Seeking help is not only your right, it can be a lifeline when you're dealing with abuse, exploitation, or confusion about your options. Knowing your rights as an immigrant worker is a powerful defense against exploitation and injustice. Regardless of your immigration status, U.S. labor laws protect your right to be paid fairly, work in a safe environment, organize with coworkers, and speak up about abuse. While fear and misinformation often prevent immigrants from exercising these rights, knowledge, and access to legal support can help level the playing field. If you're facing issues at work, don't stay silent. Seek out immigrant worker centers, legal aid clinics, or trusted advocacy organizations to help you take action. You are not alone, and you are protected by law.